Hey everyone, and welcome to DreamLock. I'm Eli, and I am joined here today by Jaden, Josh, and Victor to discuss all things Switch 2, from rumors to speculation to our own personal wants and needs for this system. And right off the bat, well, first of all, say hello to the people.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Victor's just like in silence. He's just like,
I said something. No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't wanna
yeah,
do
he's
this
just
again.
like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is actually the first proper discussion of hopefully many on DreamLock. And I figured, with all of the rumors about Nintendo's next generation console, I figured, you know what, why not? Everybody else is talking about it on the internet, so I figured, you know what, let's be unoriginal and talk about it too, because I have a lot to say. I know you guys aren't as, big into Nintendo rumors as I am, but I know, and especially Josh, he's very out of the loop, but, so, I
I don't know what's happening.
From Josh, expect a lot of just unfiltered wants, literally nothing that he says will happen, but it's his own personal, his very unrealistic expectations of this console. No, I'm joking.
Switch 2?
There's a Switch 2. What? It's happening? Because some people don't realize the Switch is now 7 years old. In March, next month, it'll be 7 years old. I know. Victor's just like, I'm old. I'm old. I bought the console day one, launch day. I went to GameStop to the midnight launch day. I'll never forget. I remember having school the next morning, and I could not play the console until I got home. So, yeah, that was hell. But yeah, we are.
Take it with you.
Actually, it's funny. I was that day, the day the Switch came out. I did have a friend there tell me, where's your Switch? And I'm like, I haven't opened it yet. And he's like, why? Because I'm waiting for, I want, a special intimate moment with it, I want to make love to it.
You fucked the Switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck the Switch. Okay.
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay. I'll hear you out.
I'll hear you. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, we're gonna be talking about Switch 2. And before we talk about Switch 2, we need to talk about two very interesting people. These are people that have been on the internet for quite some time. Jaden is actually the one who is leaking the Switch. I know I probably shouldn't have said, because now everyone's gonna go on a witch hunt. Open up. This is the FBI. The Nintendo ninjas are
surrounded.
The ninjas are coming for you.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about the rumors coming from Nate the Hate, or Nate Drake on, I forgot, fucking Reset Era or something, as well as another person called Necro Felipe from I think Portuguese Nintendo website. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But both of these people have heard the exact same thing about when we can expect Nintendo to fully reveal this console. And it goes along with another rumor, a completely separate rumor about a Nintendo Direct. Now, we could all just talk about the Direct for days, but there really isn't too much to talk about, considering that it's probably not going to be an actual Nintendo Direct. It is going to focus exclusively on third-party games. No Nintendo announcements. And we have another rumor, or leak, I guess, from Pioro, the most reliable Nintendo leaker, who has said that, yeah, this week there's going to be no Nintendo first-party announcements. So, what are your thoughts on that? Nintendo has stuff, a few things, right? They have Paper Mario, they have the Thousand Year Door. They literally just dropped, from the time we're recording this, they dropped a Splatoon DLC trailer today. So, what are your thoughts on, this Direct not giving us anything from Nintendo themselves?
Honestly, at this point, I kind of expect that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's most of the time when they do a direct when it's not close to any of like the big days, like Mario Day, Pokemon Day, whatever. It's most of the time it's third-party games. Whether or not that strikes everybody's chord is a different story.
Yeah. What about you, Josh and Victor, as well?
Pizza Tower on Switch. When?
Well, that's not what I asked, but that's not what I asked, but okay. He waited the entire time just to say that. He waited this entire time just to say that. No.
I got so impatient to play it.
Okay.
I put it on Steam instead.
Well, I mean, I guess that kind of goes into a partnership. That could go into a partner showcase because it doesn't necessarily have to be third party. It just means from Nintendo's publishing partners. So it could technically be indie.
Yeah, it could be an indie direct.
Metroid Prime 4.
We'll get to that, my boy. We will get to that, Victor. I promise you.
No, but like, in reality, when it comes to like partner, I can see in the next few announcements that they're gonna do is gonna be more partner stuff because at this point, I think they're getting ready for the next launch.
Yeah.
Of the system and everything.
Yeah,
and then they'll start porting like other small games like what they did with the 3DS when we got like Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS.
Yeah.
And all the other games.
Yeah, the 3DS, like, they pushed that thing until literally, like, 2019. So, the fact that, like, a console from 2011 was getting support, especially considering it wasn't even as powerful as a freaking Vita, like, the fact that it was getting support for that long is a testament. But, yes, you're right. A lot of the games that were coming out, like at the end of the 3DS's life, those were all remakes or remasters of like Wii or DS games. So
GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube. In the case of Luigi's Mansion, yes, but also games like Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey or Minions or whatever. These names are confusing as hell. But
yeah, they are.
We also got Kirby's Epic Yarn on 3DS. Like, okay. But yeah, so it's nothing new from Nintendo. We see this all the time. When they're transitioning into a new generation, they always are like, they're really reliant on their remakes and remasters. And I feel like that's one of the reasons we haven't seen anything more from Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Paper Mario, because they're really biding their time. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they waited until after the Switch 2 reveal to give those a proper date. Like, I could see them having this partner direct, and then come early to mid-March, before Princess Peach Showtime comes out, I can see them going full force. But a lot of people were disappointed with it being a partner direct. I think it's actually a good thing, because, like, first of all, people act like the freaking partner directs are the spawn of Satan. Like, they act like, oh, these are always awful, but the last partner direct from 2022, I remember that actually being pretty good. Like, we got some...
Kill my grandpa, okay?
The partner direct kill my grandpa, yeah. But yeah, I do think Nintendo is getting ready. But here's the question. If we get a partner direct, does that automatically mean Switch 2 is coming? Do you think it's going to be revealed in March? Because that's what these people... Yeah, because that's what these same people are saying. That Nintendo is planning a reveal in March before the Game Developers Conference. Which I can see them kind of timing it with that, because, you know, with GDC coming up, they probably want to have their shiny new device on display for companies and developers to see and, like, be like, oh yeah, I want to make games for this thing. But, yeah. But here's the question. This, a little bit unrelated to, like, reveal timing, but another big thing that has been rumored are the specs of this console. Okay, so it's being rumored that in handheld mode, it's going to be about the power of a base PS4. In docked mode, around PS4 Pro, maybe one step above PS4 Pro. Which people think is a bad thing. People actually...
How's that a bad thing?
Because people think that if it's not their shiny new PS5 and doesn't have fucking ray tracing, it's automatically bad. Like, have you seen some PS4 games?
Yeah, no, I was talking
Yeah, I have.
I was talking to you about this last night.
Yeah.
I think we hit a graphical peak with the PS3 era.
Some people might disagree there, but...
I know some people might disagree there. But when you look at games like Metal Gear Solid 4 and Infamous 2 and a lot of like the better Last of Us, the original Last of Us, when you look at a lot of the like games from that era, everything afterwards is just everything looks so much prettier, but it's also just it feels like showboating.
I get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
even with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, it seems like we've just hit a wall. Like I've seen, like, for example, a good example of this is The Last of Us Part 2. Already, like, say what you will about the game itself, but it is one of the prettiest games on the PS4. So much so, yeah, so much so that the remaster looks almost identical to the PlayStation 4 version. That's what I mean by we've hit a wall. Like, other than, like, maybe a few small little changes, like, it's practically the same exact game. But people are taking this as a bad thing. Like, if I can get if, like, the next Legend of Zelda has graphics on par with just Ghost of Tsushima, I consider that a win.
Honestly, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's not taking into account the potential of Nintendo using NVIDIA's DLSS, which, for those of you watching who don't know, or Josh, probably, no offense, Josh, no, I like the tease because, you know, you're not, like, super into, like, the rumor sphere as I am, but...
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a massive nerd.
Yeah.
That's
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent. When it comes to glitch, then you are.
Yes.
You don't need to see this.
Yeah. But basically, okay. So what was I saying? Switch DLSS. Okay. So DLSS is an AI upscaling tool from NVIDIA, and NVIDIA, of course, they make graphics cards, processors. They provided the processor for the original Nintendo Switch, which used an NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor, which is, like, the Switch came out in 2017, and it was using a processor from, like, 2014. So, yeah. Yeah. So it was already pretty outdated when the Switch came out. Don't get me wrong, I love my Switch, but at the end of the day, it is still, like, PS3, maybe one step above PS3 in terms of power. So I think DLSS could benefit it very well, because that means it could take a lower quality game, like a lower resolution and frame rate, and bump it up. So let's say, like, for example, back in August at Gamescom, one of the big rumors going around was that Nintendo was actually showing the console behind closed doors to developers, and one of the tech demos that they were showing was Breath of the Wild running at 4K 60 FPS with 0 load times. Now, keep in mind, this is a tech demo, if this is real, so things could change. But that goes to show how much DLSS can benefit, because apparently they were also showing the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix demo too. And it's funny because recently the rumors are saying March is a reveal, but back in August, these developers at Gamescom were saying that they were hearing mumblings about Nintendo planning something for March of the following year. So the whole March rumor isn't, like, brand spanking new. This is something that's been, like, we've been told before. It's just most people kind of forgot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fair.
A year will do that to you.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, really, realistically, I feel like, because people are so concerned with Nintendo competing with the competition, but keep in mind, they haven't done that since the GameCube, so...
Yeah, Nintendo's just kind of been Nintendo for the last however long, last 3 generations, 4 generations really.
Yeah, mainly been
Because
doing their own thing.
They don't need to compete.
Yeah.
They're Nintendo. People are gonna buy their consoles anyway.
Well,
People are gonna buy Nintendo for their kids.
unless you're the Wii U. Unless you're the Wii U.
Yeah.
Which,
Man,
To be fair,
I miss the Wii U.
Okay. Let me revise my statement a little bit. As long as Nintendo markets their shit correctly,
yeah.
it's gonna be, you're gonna buy Nintendo.
Yeah.
The Switch was marketed incredibly well. The Wii U was marketed incredibly well. The GameCube, not so much.
Well,
But-
well, actually, to correct you, the Wii U was actually marketed horribly.
Did I say Wii U? I
Yeah.
meant the Wii.
Oh, the original Wii. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wii U.
Yeah.
I missed
No, literally, when the Wii U was coming out, I saw a commercial for the Wii U once, maybe a total of 2 times. With the
Yeah.
Switch, I saw a commercial like every other fucking day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what the Wii U was. People thought it was an add-on for the Wii.
Yeah, but that's also because when Nintendo revealed the console, they were so dead set on focusing on the gamepad. Whenever they talked about the Wii U, you'd see this big blown up image of the gamepad, but way in the distance you saw a tiny little box. Like, they did not focus on the console at all. And so, you know, if little Timmy wanted a Wii U for Christmas, he probably wasn't going to get one. He's like, but you already have a Wii, honey. Like,
Yeah, precisely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, but here's the thing though. Nintendo does have a history with their follow-up to a very successful console become a huge failure, at least at the start. The DS to the 3DS was awful. Like, so much so that within months of the console coming out, Nintendo had to slash the price and give people free Game Boy Advance games as like a sorry. Like, I'm sorry we fucked up so much. Like, and then Wii to Wii U, I don't need to explain. So, Nintendo Switch to next gen might be like a mighty task for them. In fact, back on February 5th, I believe, Nintendo did have an investors meeting. They talked to the shareholders, and they did briefly talk about next generation. But in the fact that they are trying to transition. They're trying to think of ways to transition and get the message across, because they don't want a repeat of the Wii U, going from something extremely successful to something that flopped hard. Like, besides the Virtual Boy, the Wii U was, like, Nintendo's biggest flop. Yeah.
And didn't they release a lot of crappy games for it?
For Wii U or Virtual Boy?
The Wii U. The Virtual Boy goes without saying.
Yeah. No, the Wii U had... The Wii U had a lot of games. Sorry, say that again?
I think the Virtual Boy is the one console that objectively did worse than the Wii U, as far as I know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they discontinued the Virtual Boy within 6 months to a year of it being available, so,
I mean,
yeah.
Sucks to
if
suck.
we're just talking Nintendo, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like... Because, say what you will about the Virtual Boy, it's still technically in the Game Boy line, so they still marketed it kind of as, like, a handheld type thing. But in terms of actual home consoles, the Wii U is #1 failure.
Yeah.
So I totally see Nintendo not wanting to make that mistake again. And that might honestly be why it's taken us this long to get any sort of announcement because
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't know, like,
Yeah.
they're struggling, or at the very least really digging deep into trying to make this thing a success. And the one thing that I think we can all agree on that will make or break how this console performs is the name.
Super Switch.
Yeah.
Do you
Super
think,
Switch,
yeah,
so-
Actually, no. The acronym SS is probably not that.
yeah, a lot of people have been saying Super Switch, but I gotta know, do you guys think that Nintendo will keep Switch in the title?
No.
I think.
No, because that was the problem with the Wii U, is the fact that people thought it was an extension of the Wii, because the name
Yeah.
Wii wasn't
Yeah.
the Wii U.
Maybe.
So
I do think
Switch you.
they're going to.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
I do
go.
think, yeah, Switch you. Woo! Yeah, I do think they're gonna keep the Switch aspect of it though, because isn't the Switch like the highest selling console in Nintendo history?
Second, almost. It's close. It is.
Oh.
It's like edging right against the DS, and then right above the DS is the king, which is the PlayStation 2. If Nintendo can beat
Yeah.
the PS2 by the end of its generation, that's a mighty feat. And I feel like, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
I agree with Victor. I agree with Victor on certain. The fact that they don't want to repeat of the Wii U, but at the same time, when you think of Switch, what do you think of?
You switch.
the light switch.
You think of
You switch from handheld
Switch,
Yeah,
you
Switch from
handheld
handheld to dock.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or portable to dock. So
And-
if they're doing the same thing again, which would be stupid not to, then what other name could you really think of?
Yeah.
Switch 2. Make it a sequel, Switch 2.
Yeah.
It's the
Which
safest
Switch
one.
1.5.
some people, that was, I mean, technically the OLED started out as a 1.5. From what we
Yeah.
are hearing, due to
Final Chapter Prologue.
sorry, what?
Switch 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Final Destination. All items. Box only.
Um.
And
And Knuckles.
Levels. Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Oh yeah. What were we talking about? Sorry.
what else could you name the Switch?
Oh yeah. So, like, I can see see it being something like Switch Advance, like continue the Game Boy kind of thing, because
Yeah.
even I feel like, because with the Wii U, the title did scream add-on, but keep in mind, Nintendo went from Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance. They still kept the Game Boy moniker, and they still kept doing exceedingly well. So I feel like if they named it like Switch Advance or something, people would still maybe get the idea that it's not just an add-on or an extension of it. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But I feel like Nintendo's gonna have to really come up with a clever name if they don't use Switch, because, like, yeah, like, I'm scared for Nintendo because I want this thing to succeed, but you know, this is the one thing, like, besides marketing, obviously, this is the one thing that will make or break it.
Yeah.
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 You're right. At
And
least give it
to be fair-
another. Oh, at least give it another word like Switch, a different word, so people don't get the same idea that it's just like the Switch again.
Nintendo Swap.
I was or like
Have a point.
or make the console look a bit more different than the Switch
Yeah.
as well.
I've actually been seeing some people, like, wonder if it's gonna be another dual screen handheld, and I'm like, no, it's not. 100% not.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a BlackBerry.
yeah. So, going back to, like, okay, so we talked about, like, the name, and I want to, like, kind of go back to the whole March thing. If we do get a March reveal for the Switch 2 or whatever it's called, because I know we talked about they could just call it the Switch 2. I don't think they'll go the PlayStation route. I really don't. They could. I mean, Nintendo has done crazy things in the past. I wouldn't put it past them, but when they how do you think they're going to go about like letting people know it's coming? Like, do you think they're just gonna like make a tweet saying like, because when the Nintendo Switch was getting announced back in October of 2016, which holy shit was 8 years ago.
My God.
Almost 8 years ago, yeah.
Don't make me feel old.
Yeah.
I was 11.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Back then, prior to the Nintendo Switch, like, official trailer coming out, we already knew a new console was coming, like, officially from Nintendo, codename NX. That was announced in March of 2015 by Iwata. And, then in October of 2016, we got the tweet being like, hey, stay tuned tomorrow at 7 a.m. for a trailer for NX. Do you think they're going to do the same thing? Like, just one day, they're going to be like early in the morning. Hell, even in the evening, because I'm pretty sure when the Switch trailer was coming, they announced that the trailer was coming like 12 hours before. But, what were you saying, Josh?
Yeah. I do think it would make sense to make the wait time between the announcement and the actual trailer a bit longer just to build up hype, really.
I can see that, but then again, Nintendo hasn't typically done that much before. Like, when we get a Direct, it's usually 24 hours before it happens.
Yeah, but this is different. It's
a lot bigger. Yeah, it is a lot bigger. But here's another thing that confuses the hell out of me. This is the first Nintendo home console that we have gotten where we don't even have a code name. Like, every console since the N64, we have had a code name prior to the official reveal. N64 was Project Reality, the GameCube was Dolphin, the Wii was Nintendo Revolution, the Wii U was Project Cafe, and the Switch was NX. We don't even have a code name. So, like, how is Nintendo gonna, like, talk about... Are they just gonna be like, the next generation of Nintendo is coming, like, without giving us a codename? Like, how do you think that's gonna work?
Maybe. I mean, it would make sense to just think we're gonna get a codename at some point before the reveal.
But I feel like it's too soon. It's too soon to the reveal now. It's too close. Like, usually...
Yeah, too close.
Like, we knew about... for example, when the N64 was coming out, Project Reality, like Nintendo's first 3D console, was announced in like 1993. It didn't come out until 1996. So, usually Nintendo...
3D was hard back then.
Sorry, what, Victor?
3D was hard back then.
Yeah, and I love how all the tech demos we saw for Project Reality were very far from what we actually got on the N64. Not to say the N64 looked bad for the time, because it was still more powerful than the PlayStation in terms of, like, actual bits, when consoles used bits back then. But yeah.
Time to be alive.
Oh yeah, I was not even a thought back then, probably. But yeah, I'm expecting at least a 24-hour heads up, maybe 48 hours. At least for me.
Yeah,
like, I know the whole building up hype thing, but I don't think Nintendo cares too much. I think, like, they know that...
We're gonna buy it anyway.
They know we're gonna buy it anyway. And watch the trailer. They know. So...
Yeah.
Like, the Switch trailer, which, to mention, Nintendo has since taken down the official reveal for the Switch.
Wait, did they?
Yes. So, some people think that maybe Nintendo took it down to kind of prevent the YouTube algorithm from directing people to the original Switch trailer. In my own personal opinion, I think the music license just ran out for the trailer and they took it down, but you know, they used a licensed song in that trailer, so now about the trailer, how do you think Nintendo's going to present it? Because with the Switch, you know, obviously they showed like that you could switch the console, but they also showed little glimpses at games coming to the console that weren't yet revealed. We saw a new footage of Breath of the Wild. We saw what would eventually become Super Mario Odyssey. We saw Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and Skyrim and NBA. Do you think we're gonna do that? Like, are we gonna get like teases for games in this console, in this reveal, and what games would they be?
Yeah, maybe.
Mario's gonna be part of it.
Oh,
Yeah, Mario's gonna be.
Yeah, we're I think in terms of Splatoon, we're more likely to just get a port of Splatoon 3 and have all our data transferred over to that.
yeah, which would
Because
It- it would suck, but that would be such a Nintendo thing to do because
yeah,
ideally, you know, considering that this supposed graphical jump is going to be pretty significant, Nintendo games running at 4K potentially for the first time, if we're lucky, ideally we would just get updates for our already existing games. And one of the people
yeah,
that is leaking this partner showcase and the March Switch 2 reveal, Necro Felipe, he has actually said that developers can choose whether or not to update their current Switch games to look and perform better. So, yeah, exactly.
They're gonna show it off with another part of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh gosh, I can see Mario Kart. I can see Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart. I don't even think they're gonna call it 9. I think they're just at this point considering the mobile game to be 9. So I think they're probably gonna call it like Mario Kart X or something like that. I think it's probably coming out. I don't think it'll be at launch. Some people do. I think a 3D Mario would be more fitting for that. But one game, which
It's about time for another 3D Mario.
oh, it's been almost
yeah,
7
any Mario
years.
game.
It's been almost 7 years since the last 3D Mario, which is, I believe, the longest gap in between 3D Marios.
Yeah, and we just got Wonder, so there's our 2D.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, unless we're counting Bowser's Fury. 'cause
But
that would be
here's the
pretty much
thing.
fun.
I personally believe that Bowser's Fury is a test. I think they're testing the waters for an open world Mario game, because Bowser's Fury did it really well as an experiment for how an interconnected Mario world. And yes, it was still fairly small, but at the same time, like, it was still really good. Like, and I feel like
Yeah.
Nintendo could pull it off a little bit better than Sega with Sonic Frontiers.
Also, to test the waters to see how intimidating Bowser can actually be.
Oh yeah.
Because that Fury Rage Bowser is, oh my god, is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One game I really hope we see though in this reveal trailer, which it's about damn time. Metroid Prime 4. Can we all see? Like, at this point, I feel like the only reason we haven't seen it yet after 7 years is because, well, I mean, technically 5 years because they restarted development, but I feel like the only reason we haven't seen it yet is because it's going to be a cross-gen title, similar to Breath of the Wild. I think it's coming to both Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah, that makes the most sense at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's very close to completion because, and these are not rumors that I'm about to say, these are things that people have dissected and found out. And the big one is someone found a LinkedIn profile page from a QA tester, a game tester who has previously worked on the Call of Duty franchise, who put in their resume on LinkedIn that they were a QA tester on Metroid Prime 4. So the fact that it's in the product testing phase most likely means it's pretty close to completion.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I think. I do think we're gonna get it with the next console.
But will it be a launch title?
Yes.
If not launch title, launch window.
Mm-hmm.
Launch window.
Yeah.
I can see a launch window.
Yeah.
It'll be one of the launch games in general for sure.
Okay, so we
It's-
all
It's gonna be one of the games they show off in the commercial, in the
Yeah.
reveal trailer.
yeah. Now that's first party though, but the Switch trailer also showed off a couple third party games. We got Skyrim and NBA 2K. I still am in the camp of people that believe that we will see some third-party support in this trailer. What games though could show off?
It's supposed to be a step above PS4 or PS4 Pro.
Or at least in the same ballpark. Like,
In the same ballpark, I mean, you might be able to see Baldur's Gate 3 on there. That'd be a huge one.
I think Elden Ring too.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring was
Elden Ring.
From Software has already previously supported Switch with Dark Souls Remastered, which, although that is the worst way to play the game, they still did it.
Dark
But
Souls Remastered is the worst way to play a Dark Souls 1 from what I hear.
oh, is it just on any platform?
From what I hear, it's best if you go and buy it on PC and use the mods to fix it out.
Ah, that's fair. I could see Elden Ring because Elden Ring was on PS4.
Yeah, Elden Ring is on PS4. Yeah,
Was
it's a
Baldur's
great
Gate?
game.
Was Baldur? Oh, it is a good game. Was Baldur's Gate 3 on PS4?
It's not on PS4, but it can run on my PC, and my PC is basically a PS4 Pro.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good point. I think we will see some big third-party game that no one ever thought would come to a Nintendo console on there because, like, even the Switch to this day still gets some third-party support. Compare it to the Wii U and what they got. Like, it's funny, for, like, the first few months of the Wii U's launch, it had some of the best third-party support. Like, games were coming out, like, day and date. Like, we got, like, some people said, at least at the time, that Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was the best on Wii U. It, like, in terms of some of, like, the gamepad functionality.
That's
Like,
a strange thing to hear.
yeah, I've never played that, so I couldn't tell you, but, like,
most of the other games were most of the other third-party games were just dance.
yeah, Just Dance.
games.
I mean, you got
Hell yeah.
Armored Edition on PS or on Wii U.
Oh yeah, which I do hear that Armored Edition is really good, except for the fact that it forces the gamepad. It
Yeah, there's no force.
Force.
That's the only issue I hear with the game, other than the fact that the new suits look like crap.
Yeah, and now Batman has a fucking, like, gamepad on his arm.
Yeah, he's got a gamepad on his arm. Yeah.
So
Batman Gaming.
yeah, I think we can get some pretty good third-party support with this console, and we'll briefly touch upon third-party in a little bit and, like, what our, like, pipe dream games are. But going,
Pizza Tower on Switch.
dude,
Please.
I need to play Pizza Tower. I still haven't played it. Like,
Dude, the moment you actually accept my friend request on Steam, I'm gifting you it.
wait, you sent me? I didn't even know you sent me a friend request. You know,
Months ago.
to be fair,
I think-
I don't use Steam very often. But if
Fair enough.
if you gift me Pizza Tower, I will play it immediately. So
Yeah, I don't have the money for it right now, but
Right here.
the moment I
Right here,
do,
the video.
oh, okay.
So, anyways,
Yeah, back to the
Yeah.
video. Sorry, we got
back
side
to the video.
tangent.
he's gonna be playing it throughout the video. You're just gonna see him like, yeah. So
Anyway, I'll play Pizza Tower. Back to, like,
Pizza Tower.
actual first-party games. Besides 3D Mario, because that's a given. What
Yeah.
could Nintendo do? Because with the Switch, despite it being Nintendo's best-selling home console of all time, it had an abysmal launch in terms of first-party offerings. The only two first-party games, well, technically three if you want to count snipper clips, was Breath of the Wild, which, it's funny how it was the last game on Wii U, but the first game for Switch. We got Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch, which was a $50 tech demo that should have been a pack-in title.
Yeah.
yeah, I do feel like if Nintendo could do anything better is make another tech demo title that is also a pack-in.
Yeah, and one
Yeah.
game. Okay, Victor, having a blast over there.
Show
Yeah.
off.
Give us another sports game.
Yeah, some people have mentioned, like, a new, like, take on Wii Sports, or I guess Nintendo Switch Sports as they're calling it now.
Give us a sports resort. Give us another sports resort game.
that I
Give
could
us the
see that.
original
Which
Mii's
sports
back.
resorts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Honestly, the me, what they butchered the avatars in Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm sorry, they might be they might be adorable, but like, still, they ain't the Mii's.
No,
Can,
no,
can,
they're not.
I
The
mean,
original Mii's are better.
you could play-
Objectively.
you can play as the Mii's though, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but the inclusion of those little mutants you call characters is a sin in itself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but one
You
game
guys complain too much about Mii's.
I
Nerds
would
with
love
the
to
white
see
nerds.
I would love to
All of
see
you.
like actual Mii integration because like no one uses the Mii's on Switch barely at all. So I'd like to see them push them a little bit more. But back to like the pack-in title. First of all, do you think Nintendo's even gonna do a pack-in, or do you think they're gonna sell their quote-unquote tech demo separately?
It'd be smarter to do a pack-in title, I think. But knowing Nintendo, they're
Yeah.
probably not.
If
It's
they
gonna be a Mario
That's
sports
exactly
game.
what I was thinking.
now, if here's a pipe dream. I'm not talking about a remaster or a remake, but one game that I would love to see get a second chance and would perfectly fit as a pack-in title because it already existed as a pack-in title. Nintendo Land. I would love a sequel to Nintendo Land.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Nintendo Land is one of the most underrated games on Wii U, which is not saying a lot considering that 90% of the games on Wii U are underrated because they, like, specifically the games that are still remain as exclusives. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess.
That would be a great launch window.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess?
Yeah, like that'd be a great launch window.
But, like, really? They're gonna wait till next gen for that? Like, those could easily be on just Switch 1.
They could be, but at this point, do you think they're gonna put them on Switch 1, or do you think they're gonna wait till Switch 2?
They could just release it on
Which one's gonna
both.
make them more money?
That
They could release it on both, yeah.
Yeah. Because I still feel like, despite this new console coming out, Nintendo's gonna support the Switch, the original Switch, for the next few years because, like, literally, they're not gonna just abandon their biggest install base. Like, they've built so much brand recognition with this console, they'd be fools to abandon it. So,
You know.
I would love a new, like, Nintendo Land. Give us some new mini games. Because Nintendo Land on the Wii U was already, like, super good, a super good looking game for being on a really underpowered console. Imagine how, like, a modern take on it would look. And I say, like, obviously not a remaster or a port of it because that game depended on the gamepad. So, obviously, they would have to do some new mini games and some new gimmick.
And new gimmick. Just use the Switch's HD Rumble stuff.
Oh yeah, ideally they would actually care more about that because, like, I'm sorry, they barely utilized that on the Switch.
Yeah.
Honestly, with how Yeah. much,
I mean, I still like Mario Odyssey for using it.
Did Mario? Oh, sorry, what, JD?
with how much, like, you're thinking about Nintendo Land, you got me thinking about games, and I'm thinking, do you think they're gonna release another Mario Party like launch window?
That's a good question.
Excellent.
Yesn't.
Yes, and
I do think a new Mario Party is in the works. And hopefully it's not just another remake of, like, classic boards and it's a fully fledged new one that builds off of Superstars. But I don't know if it would be, like, just Switch 2. Like, I could see it releasing on both, but I mean, maybe. Like, but what one game that I think could I don't think it'll be a launch title. But going back to Mario Kart, is it even, like, launch window, or are we gonna have to wait even further? Because the Booster Course Pass came out, like, last year, or, like, finished last year.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be launch window.
You think it's gonna be launch window?
Launch window.
Mario Kart's a system seller.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And I picture in my head how a next gen looking Mario Kart would play and look, and I think we're in for a treat. I would love, like, I know this is like the typical fanboy prediction, but I would love to see them do a crossover cart. Like, still keep the Mario Kart title. Like, I still think they would keep the Mario Kart, like, 10 title or whatever they call it. Like, it would still be Mario Kart. But, like, I feel like they would expand upon what they did with Mario Kart 8, where we got, like, Link and Animal Crossing characters and Splatoon characters, and, you know, I feel like they're going to expand upon that. I would also love them to see them add in some of the features from Mario Kart Tour. Like, imagine being able to dress up your characters in all sorts of different costumes, or play as, like, the sprite versions of these characters. Like I feel
microtransactions.
So Crash Team Racing, Crash Team Racing Natural Field.
Oh yeah, I haven't played it, but I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Microtransactions everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Nintendo's gonna do microtransactions. No way in hell.
I don't think they ever have.
Yeah.
$60 to $70 game.
Oh what?
I said they better not on a $60 to $70 game.
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
There. Okay. Anyway,
He also needs a new game. This guy right here needs a new game.
he just got one like a year ago, right?
It was 2 years ago.
But still.
Actually, no, I think it was out here. Ah.
Okay. So another game, and this Josh was waiting for a moment to use the soundboard.
I just have
I
to get.
was.
So
And now I'm gonna wait again.
one game that it is a remake, or it is more of a port if they go that route. I still would hope it's a remake, but this is a very mighty task to ask. Is Xenoblade Chronicles X? That's my pipe dream prediction. That is still regarded as one of the biggest and most demanding Nintendo games of all time. It was so demanding that when it came out on Wii U, it barely ran on the console, and you had to download like 3 or 4 separate like packs from the eShop just to get it to perform somewhat comparable. Like, it was a very hard game to run. And the fact that unless you emulate the game, which not everyone's going to want to do, you can't download those packs anymore because the eShop doesn't work on Wii U anymore. So, and yeah, and the developers over at Monolith Soft have said that they really want this game on Switch, but it is just too big of a task right now because that game is just too demanding. But I could see them putting it like a remaster on their next console and maybe expand, because I believe the game also had online. So expand, like, imagine like a Xenoblade MMO. We know Monolith Soft is working on something. I want some Xenoblade. Like, Xenoblade is quickly becoming one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, and I really want to see more of it on their next console. Even though I think realistically, because we know Monolith Soft is working on a new IP, so they're working on a completely new franchise. Which they've only ever showed concept art in hiring pages on their website, so we have no idea what this game is other than concept art. Some people think it's a Zelda game, which they have co-developed Zelda. I believe every like console Zelda game since Skyward Sword. So I mean maybe. But I want to see something from them, whether it be in launch, like as a launch title or launch window. That's just my pipe dream. I want to hear your pipe dream predictions, you guys.
A new F-Zero game.
It's possible. It is possible now, because F-Zero 99, although we don't have exact numbers, I'm assuming it did well. It did really, really well. And yes, I get it's also a free game with no microtransactions, I'm pretty sure. So
and new maps every once in a while.
Yeah, which I love how Nintendo said they weren't like gonna continue to support the game, but that here they are like still kind of supporting it.
The game.
Because it's very popular, and I think the game was released as a test to see if this generation still has some interest in F-Zero. So,
And they do.
Yeah, like, yes, Mario Kart is Nintendo's prime racer now, but
Yeah.
like, give Captain Falcon, like honestly, I would love like an F-Zero game where there are, of course, the racing segments, but like on foot segments, like kind of like a beat 'em up, like you're playing as Captain Falcon, like knocking the shit out of people.
Man, if you're Captain Falcon, it would be the
I'm gonna give
easiest
new
beat 'em
moves
up
for his
game ever.
moveset.
Oh wait, sorry, you go first, Josh.
If it's Captain Falcon, though, it's gonna be the easiest beat 'em up game ever.
Oh yeah, totally.
I can't speak.
And you, Victor?
Finally give him some original moves for his new moveset in Smash.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Smash, what about Smash? Cause you guys knew it was I was gonna bring it up at some point. Sorry, what, Jim?
No wait, let's hear Josh's pipe dream games.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I completely like just skipped the subject we were talking about.
You skipped the Brit and the Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tea drinking simulator. Make it happen. Please, for the love of God.
I would buy day
I
one.
don't know how to put my thing down.
Also, Pizza Tower for the third time.
First party. Let's go first party for right now.
Oh, first party. Okay. I don't really know about first party. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. Again, like I can kind of understand where you're coming from because again, you're not like super like into like discussions about this as like we are, but
yeah, and I spent the last few minutes thinking of a fucking Pizza Tower bit because I didn't think I was gonna have to list off
just
first party games.
I mean, go for it. Even a third-party title, just something you think will be at launch, like a pipe dream, like a big game that's maybe on other consoles that, like, not Pizza Tower, but
okay, not Pizza Tower. Okay, Bendy in the Dark Revival. That's one I really want to see on Switch because, it's definitely a higher graphic Bendy game. It's
I
already
can see it.
Yeah, it's already on PS5 and Xbox as well as Steam. So
wasn't the original Bendy and the Ink Machine on Switch?
Yeah, it is.
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
The newer one looks fucking amazing in comparison, though. It blows everything out of the water.
Okay. Okay, you, Victor. What is your pipe dream specifically? Mostly first party. If you can't think of a first party, go third party. But like,
yeah,
or indie.
I'll try and think of a first party thing. New Kirby game, maybe.
Oh.
It's been 2 minutes since the. It's been 2 minutes since the last Kirby game. It's been too long.
Well, for me, it's give me the PS4 version of Yokai Watch 4.
Wait, Yokai Watch 4 is on PS4?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And that one has like
more than one game.
Yeah, Yokai Watch is 4 games. The fourth one.
One, I think.
Wait, 5?
They teased the fifth. They teased the fifth one, and there's a bunch of spin-off games too.
Oh, that is true. And you did say that. Wait, sorry. What? Josh?
I only remember being into the first game and fucking watching the show when I was like 10 for a little bit. I didn't realize they made 4 games. I gotta get back into it.
They're good games.
Yeah.
They're good games.
Also,
yeah, but just give me that one because I want to play as a 10-year-old who can beat up creatures with a hammer.
Yeah.
That's what you can do now in the new ones.
You were saying, Jaden?
I have a third-party pipe dream that I mentioned earlier. Give me a Baldur's Gate portable.
I can see it happen. I can see it happening.
With an arachnophobia mode.
Who developed Baldur's Gate 3?
Larian.
Okay, so it's still technically indie then.
Yeah, it's an indie game.
Which I love how actual AAA developers are getting salty at an indie game outperforming them.
Because they should. They need to perform better. Larian Studios is amazing, and you should play everything they do.
Yeah. I've been meaning to play Baldur's Gate 3. Like, if it's literally just like, is it an officially licensed D&D game? Or is it just like inspired by D&D?
That one is inspired by D&D, but they have made an officially licensed D&D game.
Okay. Yeah. So, we're wrapping up here pretty soon. But I want to talk about a couple more things. Smash Bros, as I mentioned earlier. Do you think a new Smash Bros is happening? Like after Ultimate, I feel like the only way we can get a new Smash Bros is if they reboot the entire franchise. New like shrink down the roster from like 70 plus characters to maybe like 20 and give us like entirely new movesets. Mario and Link have had almost the same exact moveset since the N64. So give them entirely new movesets, new
But
finals.
Mario's mistakes from his games too. So
Yeah, I
they don't
get
really
I
change
get
it.
that, but who knows? Maybe this new 3D Mario game that we're hearing of gives Mario an entirely new moveset that they could implement into a Smash Bros. Game. You know, it wouldn't be the first time Smash Bros. Did that. Smash Bros. Gave Mario Cappy as one of his taunts, like. So.
They also changed some animations. They changed too. But like I don't know. I don't think it needs a straight up reboot. It's just that the new game's not going to be as big as the other one with all the roster and third party.
Yeah, no way. That we will never, as long as we are alive, we will never get another Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, we're not gonna get Sora in another Smash game because
We gotta keep Sans Undertale, please.
honestly, the next thing I'm thinking of is like who would be in the next Smash game, other than the obvious choice like
Goku. Goku's gonna be in the new Smash.
because if
Yeah,
they
Goku
stick to
Fortnite.
just
Woo!
if they stick to just the rule, like the golden rule of Smash Brothers, that only people who's ever been in a game or people who originate from a game, then who else is really left other than people from the indies?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Other characters from
Nino
different
and
consoles.
Smash.
Okay, Ratchet and Clank.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're gonna get
Rocket,
Sony characters.
Yeah, add
You know,
Sony
make
characters, that's a good idea.
Make it Super Smash Brothers Nintendo versus Sony.
Yeah. I don't know how soon another Smash Bros. Is actually going to happen, though, because, you know, I'm sure Sakurai is desperately wanting to work on something else.
I think the next time we see Smash Brothers, it might just be a port of Ultimate onto.
I could see that. I could see that. Maybe even with a few extra characters. Who knows?
And then 2 years later, give us a character pack.
Yeah. But speaking of Sakurai, another little pipe dream I have. I have 2 more pipe dreams I want, but a new Kid Icarus. Sakurai did Uprising. So
An Uprising or a port of Uprising. Something, get it off of
Yeah.
3DS.
yeah, like that game controlled pretty bad. Like it was a great game, just
Yeah, make
held
it
back by
a third-person shooter.
Yeah, make it a third-person shooter Kid Icarus game.
yeah, like
Oh,
Yeah.
like I'll take just a remaster or remake of Uprising because that game needs to leave the 3DS. That game was not
Yeah,
designed
Also,
for
it
Yeah.
also has great voice acting. For a Nintendo
Yeah.
game, it has great voice acting.
Yeah. What were you saying, Josh?
Give Pit a gun.
You know,
He already has one.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
yes, he
not
does. He
cool.
does. Like his bow
He
is
gets
technically.
a staff sniper and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and he does.
He gets a Glock. It's like a gun that looks almost like a Glock.
Yeah, just give him a straight up fucking shotgun, please.
Another pipe dream, and this could also technically happen on. This could technically happen on the original Switch as well, but rumor has it that Microsoft is going third party, at least for a good chunk of their games. Microsoft officially announced that they are going to be doing a podcast. Yes, they are doing a podcast on the 15th, which is actually the day of this rumored partner showcase. So I feel like something Microsoft is going to be there. I think Hi-Fi Rush is probably going to get announced for Switch.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Josh's eyes
New remakes.
yeah, Josh's eyes lit up there like Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, please. The
um
only Bethesda game I have ever played ever.
But another game that is rumored to be coming right now, it's only rumored for PlayStation, but it's 100% coming to Switch. I feel at some point, if not OG Switch, then Switch 2, and that's Sea of Thieves, which would
Wait,
be
Sea of Thieves is going to PlayStation?
apparently so. But if Sea of Thieves were to come to a Nintendo console, that will be the first time since the GameCube, since the early days of the GameCube, where a Rareware title is on a Nintendo home console. Ever since Nintendo, Nintendo technically only owned like 40 to 50% of Rare, but, you know, obviously they sold them to Microsoft, which, you know, wasn't like the best decision because we got games like Nuts and Bolts and Viva Pinata, which I hear it actually isn't that bad, but
Grabbed by the ghoulies.
yeah. But
Grabbed by the ghoulies.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies, the very, like, I don't want to say watered down, but the very censored remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies was good.
Was it? I hear mixed
The
things.
controls were weird. The controls were weird. That's the only problem with the game was the controls were weird.
Yeah, I hear mixed things, but one game, which if Microsoft is putting their games on other consoles, one game that I'm sick of being stuck on Xbox One that I've wanted to play since it came out in 2015, Rare Replay.
Yeah.
That game deserves another, like it deserves more than it got. Like, I would love to, like, yes, we already have like a few Rare games on Nintendo Switch Online, but like this would give us games like, yes, Nuts and Bolts, but it would also give us like Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I doubt is coming to Switch Online. It would give us
No, that thing.
yeah, 100% not. Yeah, Nintendo wants to pretend that game never happened, but if Rare Replay were to come to Switch, it would happen, you know? That's my pipe dream. It's technically OG Switch, but
Nintendo of today would be more lenient on Conker's Bad Fur Day.
you know what? That's a good point. Like, I mean, Nintendo technically did all the marketing for Conker's Bad Fur Day, like, to the point of literally giving out, like, at E3, booze and Conker-themed condoms. So,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I feel like that game could see another light on a Nintendo console. I would really like to see that, but that's just another pipe dream. But to wrap things up here, like I want like one more time. When do you guys think this console is going to be revealed? Like, if we are getting a partner showcase, that kind of leads more into like the plausibility of a March date. But like, your honest opinion, like when do you think this is happening?
I think just a bit after March.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it'll be much at all. I think it'll be maybe, if I'm gonna be honest, if anything, probably more halfway into the year, June even.
Well,
Possibly.
here's my thing, and this is something I completely neglected to talk about. When the Nintendo Switch came out, like about a few days to a week after the console was fully revealed, they announced the Nintendo Switch presentation 2017. If this console is coming out this year, they have to, like, obviously they're not going to announce the console and the games in the same event. They're going to wait. So I was thinking like earlier in the year, and then come like halfway through the year, like June or July, that's when we get like a big blowout where we get the price, the release date, launch games. Like, that's my opinion, but like I mean, I could see where you're coming from though. Like, I feel like at the latest, I feel like by the end of April.
Yeah, I want to
yeah.
say by the end of April we'll get something, and then the release date will probably be holiday next year or holiday 2026.
Wait, holiday 2026? There's no way. No way, hell.
Yeah.
I'm saying
2026
just
too
in case
far.
you need time to cook the console a little bit longer.
Well, I mean, they've been cooking this console
Yeah.
for years, so I don't think 2026 is even on the cards because
I think
Yeah.
I think at the very, if not holiday 2025.
I-
Holiday 2025 is probably the earliest we'll see this console.
you think
Yeah.
because
It
keep in
takes
mind
time.
though between I'm still leaning like earliest holiday 2024, latest March 2025. Because here's the thing, when you good, Jaden?
Yeah, sorry, Sparky.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing though, when the Switch was revealed, it released 5 months later. So I don't think Nintendo wants to reveal something that early, because with the Wii U, they announced it more than a year before it came out, to the point where they had to re-reveal it at the next year's E3, and that reveal was even more confusing than the last reveal. So I just like, you know, anything can happen. Like, again, at the end of the day, these are all rumors. Even if these sources are reliable and this is Nintendo's current plan, who's to say Nintendo doesn't change their plans last minute? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But I do think where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there's going to be a lot to talk about this year. Sorry, what, Victor?
It's like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Ooh, I better turn off the stove.
Oh, yeah. Either way, we will see the console this year. I think that's a given.
The oven's still on,
Yeah.
Jaden.
We're all in agreement though. We will see it this year. There's no way Nintendo's gonna go another.
Yeah.
We don't like, usually February is where Nintendo gives us a good idea of how their year is going to look. Literally, besides like Princess Peach Showtime is currently their only new game in 2024. Thousand Year Door is a remake, and Luigi's Mansion is a remaster. So
Detective Pikachu Returns.
that came out last year.
Oh, fuck.
And I heard it was not good.
Ugh.
It's Detective Pikachu. How dare you soil the name?
The movie was better. I mean, I actually
The
kind of,
movie's better.
I
know
actually,
what? Yeah,
I
the
actually
movie was
enjoyed the
better.
movie.
Yeah, the movie was really good.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Like, honestly, like,
Yeah.
it's good to actually start pumping out content on this channel. I hope you like this video so we can continue to do more stuff like this. This
yeah.
will probably be going up on Wednesday. Now, Nintendo usually, if there is a partner showcase, Nintendo could announce it in the morning, but they're also known for shadow dropping these partner showcases. So there's a chance that come Thursday, they upload it at like 7 a.m.
It's just there.
It's just there.
But that's just a theory.
Don't remind me.
Game theory.
Rest in peace, Matt Pat. I mean, he's not dead, but, you know.
He died?
Yeah.
He died.
Yeah, no Matt Pat.
Anyway, do you guys have any final thoughts for this? I think we covered everything, like, major. Like, I know I probably didn't go, like, as in-depth as, like, fucking Game Explain or some other channels that do this type of stuff, but I like to think that we got the point across, and, like, pretty well. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
like to think. Either way.
Decent enough theories.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited.
Man.
Like,
Yeah, I would be if I could afford the fucking console on release day.
you'll find a way, Josh. Even if you have to rob a bank.
I'll try.
Have you tried getting a job?
Yeah, have you tried getting a job, Josh?
Yeah.
Josh is just like,
I don't wanna
fuck.
be an adult.
Well, gotta start somewhere,
God.
my boy.
Yeah,
In
once I
terms
get a
of
job,
final
I'll
thought-
probably.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, once I
In
get a
terms
job,
of
I'll
final
probably
thought-
be fine.
Yeah, I get you. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this discussion. I will try my best to cover whatever Nintendo decides to do this week. I guess only time will tell. And
Bye-bye.
there's SpongeBob again. Josh, can you give us a mystery sound effect just to send us off in good spirits?
Okay, I don't have the soundboard open. Give me a second. If it'll fucking open. Okay, here we go.
Give us one more for good measure. Do a different one. Surprise us with a new one.
Okay.
You know what?
There
That's gonna be me like staring like Pomni when the Switch 2 was announced and the only
$600?
yeah, it's $600 and the only launch title is fucking what like what's a really bad game that wait, what?
Arms 2.
It's just Arms 2. Yeah.
Hey, Arms was okay.
Yeah, Arms was a good game.
okay.
Arms was a good game.
It was good. It wasn't the worst game.
It was just it did not have enough content.
It's gonna be zombie U, but on Switch.
It's gonna be Zombie 2.
Zombie 2 U.
To be fair though,
Zombie U 2.
when they did release Zombie U on other consoles, they did just call it Zombie. And actually, only a few months ago, I found out that Zombie U is a reboot of another Ubisoft game.
It is?
Apparently, they released a game in like the 80s or 90s called just Zombie. I just found this out like a few months ago. Yeah, like I would look it up like just to make sure my information is accurate, but like I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this discussion. I hope you all enjoyed watching our crazy predictions and maybe somewhat realistic predictions. I don't want I don't want to be like the guy to get overhyped just to be disappointed, but like when new consoles come out, I can't help but be excited. Like especially when you're able to afford them.
Yeah,
Bitch.
I was so hyped for my PS5 that I went to GameStop.
Yeah.
They called me and I was like, I'm gonna sit here and be late for work.
Yeah. I guess I should. One more thing to add. I completely forgot to add this earlier. But how much do you think the console's gonna cost?
Oh.
I think $400.
$300 or $400. Yeah, $400.
I think $399. And yeah, I mean, I think because the rumor right now, and I know I was gonna do my outro, but like, this just came to mind, but the rumor is that it's not gonna have an OLED screen at launch, which you know makes sense for Nintendo. Some people are taking that as a bad thing. But like even if it has like a 10, like apparently it's an 8-inch 1080p LCD screen. I think that's fine as long because keep in mind LCD technology has come a long way since 2017.
Yeah.
Like say what you will about the PlayStation Portal, but that's an LCD screen and it looks good for what it is. So like just to make sure my information is accurate, but like I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this discussion. I hope you all enjoyed watching our crazy predictions and maybe somewhat realistic predictions. I don't want I don't want to be like the guy to get overhyped just to be disappointed, but like when new consoles come out, I can't help but be excited. Like especially when you're able to afford them.
Yeah,
Bitch.
I was so hyped for my PS5 that I went to GameStop.
Yeah.
They called me and I was like, I'm gonna sit here and be late for work.
Yeah. I guess I should. One more thing to add. I completely forgot to add this earlier. But how much do you think the console's gonna cost?
Oh.
I think $400.
$300 or $400. Yeah, $400.
I think $399. And yeah, I mean, I think because the rumor right now, and I know I was gonna do my outro, but like, this just came to mind, but the rumor is that it's not gonna have an OLED screen at launch, which you know makes sense for Nintendo. Some people are taking that as a bad thing. the fact, but like even if it has like a 10, like apparently it's an 8-inch 1080p LCD screen. I think that's fine as long, because keep in mind, LCD technology has come a long way since 2017.
Yeah.
Like, say what you will about the PlayStation Portal, but that's an LCD screen, and it looks good for what it is. So,
Wow.
it's basically just a streaming device for the PS5. I think they could probably release a $450 OLED model, like, a couple years later. That's my prediction, but like they did with the Switch. So that basically wraps it up. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed watching our discussion. We will catch you all in the next video. So anyway, take care, guys.
Bye.